Long time no see, how have you been? Hurry up and hand over the inheritance, will you? What the heck? Today is Dad's funeral, you know. I know that. That's why I came. During my father's funeral, my estranged sister had the nerve to show up. And she wasn't alone. The last person I wanted to see. Dad's gone now, there must be plenty left, right? Money, I mean. That's true. But you won't get a dime. The husband my sister had stolen from me was no longer the man he once was. He'd become such a scoundrel. Show some respect for Dad at least. What's the point? He's dead. I'm only here for the money. Just give it to me and I'll leave. I thought my father, who had disowned them, wouldn't rest in peace with this going on. Then, at that moment, I thought I heard a commotion. It was you too. My calm mother appeared. No sign of anger or any emotion. Finally, someone who understands. You'll give us Dad's inheritance, right? You came for that? Not just that. I'm carrying a new life inside me. My sister said, caressing her belly with a happy look. At that moment, I, who hadn't been able to conceive, felt envious. It made me angry and frustrated with myself. I see. But I have to say, there's nothing for you here. What? The two of them looked at each other, their mouths agape. I decided to tell them the truth. It was enough to send them spiraling. My name is Ava, and I currently work in a beauty department. My husband Nathan, 3 years my senior, was introduced to me by a friend. Pleased to meet you. Likewise. Back then, I lacked confidence and avoided talking to people as much as possible. My friend, seeing this, thought introducing me to Nathan might change something. I just want to go home. That was all I could think about. And I was pessimistic that anyone could like someone like me. Ava, you're beautiful. What? Oh. Sorry, that was out of the blue. I was shocked by his words. I'd had chances before, but no one ever seemed to have a good impression of me. In hindsight, I might have been simple. Just one word and I was drawn to Nathan. Everything moved quickly after that. Would you like to go out with me? He asked on our third date. Yes. I agreed without hesitation. I hope to keep a good relationship with you. Me too. From then on, I felt happier than I ever had before. Every day seemed like a bed of roses. But even in such happy times, there can be disturbances. In my case, it was my sister, Luna. She was living in our family home. What? Ava has a boyfriend? Surprising someone like you could get one. Introduce him to me sometime. Well, that's... Can't you listen to your sister? So arrogant for an ugly duckling. Luna was a big reason why I lacked confidence. She had always been the pretty one, praised and pampered. Her arrogance and overconfidence showed. Every time I visited home, she made me feel like this. That's no way to talk to Ava. Dad, you've always been too soft on Ava. That's why she turned out this way. There's a line, even for sisters. I got through all this because of Dad. Whenever Luna was harsh, he'd always stand up for me. I'm fine. Why don't you stand up for yourself? You're better than you think. Eventually, I had to introduce Nathan to Luna, but that was the beginning of a tragedy. And that opportunity came soon. Nathan and I, considering marriage, went home for the New Year holidays. Is this the guy you're talking about? Pleased to meet you. I'm Nathan. Wow. You're too good for Ava. Thank you. Then Luna said something outrageous. Why not ditch Ava and go for me? There's still time. I usually didn't stand up to Luna, but this was too much. Hey. That's rude. What's the big deal? It's just a joke. Don't take it so seriously. Luna laughed and left. I'm sorry for what she said. No worries. It was a bit of a shock, though. We greeted our parents after that. Nathan, you want to marry Ava? Yes, of course. Ava lacks confidence because of Luna. I hope you can support her in that. Dad. Don't say unnecessary things. It's important. Please take care of her. Dad begged Nathan. I never thought I'd see him do that. With our parents' blessing, we were close to getting married. I thought a new chapter in our lives was about to begin. Shall we go? Yeah. I was extra nervous that day. Just one piece of paper, and we'd be married. We went to the city hall and submitted our marriage certificate. Now we're husband and wife. Well, we gotta start looking for a new house then. I'm thinking about the future, definitely want a room for the kids. I was filled with happiness. In about 2 weeks, we found our new home and moved in. But the next day, an unexpected visitor showed up. Why are you here? That should be my line. Why didn't you tell me? I couldn't understand why Luna was standing in front of me. Then Nathan spoke up from behind. Sorry, I told her. What? I thought it was better to let her know. Nathan did nothing wrong. The bad one is the sister who didn't tell me anything. What surprised me more was that Nathan had exchanged contact information with Luna. Luna barged into the house, sat on our new sofa as if she owned it, and started relaxing. She began talking about herself, unasked. Ava was always the incapable one, always hiding behind me. Really? And during middle school, she... Don't talk about that. What's the big deal? It's just the past. Luna started telling a story about how I was embarrassingly rejected in middle school. A past I wanted to erase. The problem was Nathan listening with great interest. Luna stayed for hours, then left satisfied. Ava, your sister is different from what you said. She's quite interesting. It seemed Nathan liked Luna. I asked something that bothered me. By the way, when did you guys exchange contacts? Oh, probably the first time I went to greet her. She kinda forced me to. Nathan answered with a laugh, but I felt a bit suspicious. Why hadn't he told me? Our married life had begun, but I was worried Luna would mess it up. Half a year into our marriage, we wanted kids and actively tried for one. But after a year, there was still no sign of pregnancy. Maybe we should give up on kids. What? We've tried everything, but it's not happening. Wait. It's not like we definitely can't have kids yet, let's try a little longer. But my words didn't reach Nathan. This was the turning point, and our married life took a 180-degree turn. You'll be late again today? Yeah, sorry. Work's crazy right now. Might even stay overnight at the office. Okay, got it. Nathan started coming home late as a norm, and our conversations dwindled to the bare minimum. Where had our happy marriage gone? And during times like this, that person would show up. Nathan started saying he had to work even on weekends, hardly ever at home. I spent more and more time alone, weekdays and weekends. What's with that look on your face? The doorbell rang, and as I headed to the front door, there stood my sister, Luna. What brings you here today? Just thought I'd check in on how your married life is going. As usual, she made herself at home, entering as if it were her own house. I didn't have the energy to send her away anymore. Huh? Nathan isn't here? It's weekend, right? He's working today. Then Luna started getting excited like a kid who found a toy. Maybe he's got another woman? There's no way that should be said, even as a joke. I wanted to keep quiet and have her leave soon, but I couldn't stay silent after that. That's ridiculous. Don't say things like that without any basis. He must be regretting marrying someone like you. I clenched my fists. If it weren't my sister in front of me, I might have lashed out. She continued to belittle me. Oh. I almost forgot, I have a date with a really great guy. You wouldn't believe how amazing he is. Bye. With that, Luna left to meet her date. Alone, I was filled with frustration. Why couldn't my life go smoothly? Before I knew it, it had gotten dark outside. Nathan returned home, but I couldn't miss the different look on his face. Hey, I'm home. Welcome back. His smile seemed unusually happy. He hadn't shown me such a smile in recent times. Did something good happen? No, not really. As soon as I asked, the smile disappeared, and he reverted to his usual indifferent demeanor. I was sure he was hiding something and started to pay more attention to his actions. His attitude towards me didn't change, but he was frequently checking his phone, which was unusual. Then, while picking up his clothes, I noticed something. This smell. Neither Nathan nor I usually wore perfume. So, this kind of smell was easy to notice. Moreover, there were signs he tried to cover it up with something like a deodorizer spray. If my guess was right, how long had this been going on? Did you meet someone today? I decided to probe a little. Yeah, met some folks from work. Why? I thought I smelled perfume on you. I watched his every small reaction. Perfume? You must be imagining things. Don't ask such silly questions. Right. It just smelled like someone I know. Nathan twitched for a moment. If there was nothing to it, he wouldn't have reacted like that. There was a pause before he spoke next. What are you getting at? I'm tired, I'm going to bed. He headed straight for the bedroom as if escaping. And that's where Nathan made a big mistake. Nathan's phone, which he had been carefully looking at until a moment ago, was left unattended on the table. Glancing at the screen, I saw Luna's name. I knew it. I pulled out my own phone from my pocket and took a photo of the screen. Now, I had some evidence to confront him with. However, to get more concrete proof, I decided to play along for a while. One weekend, as I was about to send Nathan's suit for cleaning, I checked the pockets and found something. This is Luna's. It was Luna's frequently used lipstick. I placed it on the table and waited for Nathan to come home. When he arrived, he was visibly shocked at seeing it. He must have realized immediately what it was. You know what this is, right? I don't know anything about it. Whose it could be? He was clearly panicking. I didn't ask whose it was. Oh. He had inadvertently exposed himself. Can you explain? I confronted Nathan. I might as well tell you since there's no point in hiding it anymore. You guessed right, I'm seeing Luna. Seeing her? I immediately understood what Nathan meant by seeing her. It was an affair, nothing less. Then, call her over right now. Okay. I had him contact Luna and call her to our house. Upon seeing me, Luna had a smug smile on her face. Maybe she was the one who strategically placed her lipstick in Nathan's pocket. We sat opposite each other on the sofa, but the setup felt like I was the villain. Sorry, Ava, but we're serious about each other. Could you gracefully step aside? Her words made me feel more chilled than angry. Her expression was as if it was all my fault. I was determined. This marked the end of my marriage with Nathan. Eventually, Luna moved into the house Nathan and I lived in, so I returned to my parents' home. My sudden return surprised my father, but after I explained everything, he was furious. And immediately called Luna to disown her. This should settle it. We probably won't meet again, but I'm really sorry. Why are you apologizing, Dad? I neglected Luna, letting her turn out this way. It's a parent's responsibility. He deeply apologized. I didn't want to see my father like this. And I harbored nothing but hatred for the two who made him do this. For a while, I received no contact from either Luna or Nathan. I got used to life back at my parents' home after about 2 months. Ava! Something's wrong with Dad. What? I rushed to where my father was, finding him struggling to breathe. Are you okay? Sort of. Where's the ambulance? Mom's called it. Ava, there's something I need to ask of you. What is it? Could you get me a pen and paper? When I handed them to Dad, he began writing something. If I die, call this number. Don't talk like that, it's bad luck. And take care of Mom. This turned out to be my last conversation with Dad. 15 minutes later, the ambulance arrived, but by then, Dad's heart and lungs had already stopped. By the time we reached the hospital, he had passed away. I don't remember much after that. Mom said I was like a soulless shell. Are you okay? Yeah, I've calmed down a bit. I never thought something like this would happen. Did you know anything, Mom? No. He was always so stubborn about not worrying me. Mom spoke with such a kind face. That's what an ideal couple looks like. Then, without a moment's rest, we began preparing for Dad's funeral. Didn't Dad tell you to call someone? Oh, he did. I had completely forgotten in my grief. I went to my room and looked for the paper Dad gave me. I should call this number. I dialed the number written there. Hello? That's how I came to know what Dad had been thinking. After reporting to Mom and receiving something, we both cried tears of sorrow. The funeral day arrived quickly, and Mom and I were busy with visitors from the morning. In the afternoon, when things had settled down, two familiar faces appeared at the funeral home entrance. Dressed inappropriately for a funeral. "What are you doing here? That's no way to greet someone. Luna, you were disowned by Dad. That doesn't matter. Just hand over the inheritance already." "What are you talking about? Today is Dad's funeral." "I know that. That's why I'm here." Luna, who was supposed to be disowned, brazenly showed up. And she wasn't alone. It was the last face I wanted to see. "Dad's gone now, there must be a lot left, right? Money, I mean." "That's right. But you won't get a dime." I hadn't seen them since, but I never thought they could stoop so low. "How did you even know?" "I didn't contact you. I have my sources. They were kind enough to inform me, unlike some useless people like you." "What's that supposed to mean?" At this point, the fact that she was my sister didn't matter. I couldn't let this go unchallenged. "Show some respect at Dad's funeral." "There's no point in doing that for someone who's dead. I'm just here for the money. Just give it to me and I'll leave." I thought this was no way for my father, who had disowned my sister and husband, to rest in peace. At that moment, I thought it was noisy, and it's you too. My calm mother appeared, showing no signs of anger. "Mom. Finally, someone who understands. You'll give us Dad's inheritance, right? You came for that?" "I'm sorry, but can you leave?" Then Luna lashed out at Mom. "What? I'm the eldest daughter, you can't do that." In our family, there's only one daughter. I had never thought my mother was so cool. I always saw her as gentle, walking 3 steps behind Dad. Her support felt incredibly strong, yet surprising. But Luna just laughed at Mom's words. "Of course, money was the main reason I came, but I have something to announce." "Announce?" "Yes. Something Ava has always wanted but could never have." "And that is?" "There's a new life growing in my belly. So it's not just the inheritance, I expect a gift too," she said, caressing her belly happily. I couldn't help feeling envious. Not being able to have children myself. It made me even angrier at her audacity. "I see. It's hard to say, but there's nothing for you here." "What?" Their mouths fell open in shock. I decided to tell them the truth. It was enough to bring them crashing down. "Unfortunately, you have no right to anything Dad left." "That's impossible. I'm the eldest daughter of this house." Her shout drew the attention of others nearby. Then Nathan joined in to support Luna. "Don't say whatever you like just because you don't like it." "Whatever. I have this." I took something out of my pocket. It was Dad's will, which I always carried with me. It wasn't just about the inheritance. "Let me see that." Luna snatched the will from me and began reading. Mom and I exchanged looks. This is a lie. He didn't leave me anything. The number Dad told me to call was a lawyer's office. He had prepared the will, knowing his time was near. "That's it. You must have made this up." I couldn't help but sigh. "It's an official document. The lawyer Dad asked to keep it gave it to us." "Seriously?" "As it says there, Luna won't inherit anything. There's not a single cent for her. Now please leave and don't desecrate Dad's funeral any further." Luna then became furious and lunged at me. "Why you?" I retorted while resisting. "Maybe it's because, no matter how pretty you are, your heart is rotten?" Dad knew that. "Don't mess with me." I was pushed by Luna and hit my head on a nearby chair. "You really did it now." Something started to trickle down from my head. "Ava? Are you okay?" "Yeah, somehow." Then someone in the crowd shouted about calling the police. Hearing that, Luna and Nathan snapped to their senses and tried to flee, but it was too late. They were surrounded, with no way out. "Why is this happening?" Luna sat down on the spot. I spoke to her while holding my head. "If you don't understand that, you're going to have a hard time from now on." "Yeah, right." She glared at me, but I felt nothing. "Maybe you should worry about something else? What you just did to me is a serious assault. You might become a criminal." Hearing this, Luna fell silent. Soon, the police arrived and took her away for questioning. Make sure to pay for what you did. Oh, and you still owe me compensation. Nathan watched in a daze. What are you doing there? What? Why don't you go with them? You can't do anything on your own anyway. Nathan looked around. Surrounded by people crossing their arms and glaring at him. He left as if escaping. We called an ambulance, just in case. Thank you, Mom. Maybe this will calm them down. If they don't learn from this, they're truly foolish. I went to the hospital but was able to return home with no brain injury. What awaited those two would undoubtedly be hellish. I couldn't help but look forward to it, considering all they had done. Mom, could you keep Dad's inheritance for now? Sure, but are you okay with that? Yeah. If I take it now, I may be too spoiled. Understood. I'll keep it until you're ready. After Dad's funeral, we returned to a peaceful life. But a call from Nathan reignited my irritation. I'm begging you, help me. Why don't you handle it yourself? What about Luna? She's locked herself in her room. Luna was released after questioning by the police. I intentionally didn't press charges. Moreover, her workplace got wind of the whole story, and she was fired. She lost not only the inheritance, but also her job. I don't care about that. It's not my problem anymore. Luna is useless, and Nathan, who always relied on her, seems lost now. I'm worried about the baby in her belly, but in the worst case, Mom might take care of it. Please, Ava. We have a history, right? What? Don't joke with me. I swallowed my anger. Just give her a message for me, will you? Tell her serves you right. With that, I hung up. Afterward, I quit my previous job and started working in the beauty industry. It was also a way for me to gain confidence. And there, I met a wonderful man, and we're getting married next month. Today, I'm moving out of my parents' house. Well, I'm off. Yes. Come back anytime. As I left the house, I remembered the words my father left me. They were written in his will. Ava, live your life the way you want. Your life is yours alone, and no one can interfere with it. You truly are a daughter to be proud of. Holding those words close to my heart, I set out to live my new life.